Come on. Oh, come on. Woo. Let's get it on. Ah, baby. Let's get it on. Let's love, baby. Let's get it on. Sugar. Let's get it on. Ooh, we're all sensitive people with so much to give. Understand me, sugar. Since we got to be here, let's live. I love you. There's nothing wrong with me loving you, baby. No, no. And giving yourself to me can never be wrong if the love is true. Oh, baby. Ooh, don't you know how sweet and wonderful life can be? Ooh, I'm asking you, baby, to get it on with me. Ooh, ooh, ooh. I ain't gonna worry, I ain't gonna push, I won't push you, baby. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, baby. Stop beating round the bush. Hey, let's get it on. Ooh, let's get it on. You know what I'm talking about. Come on, baby. Hey, let your love come out.
The big stuff. Who do you think you are? Mr. Big Stuff. You're never gonna get my love. The big stuff. Who do you think you are? Mr. Big Stuff. You're never gonna get my love. Now because you wear all those fancy clothes. Oh yeah. And have a big fine car. Oh yes you do now. Do you think I can afford to give you my love? Oh, you think you're higher than every star above, Mr. Big Stuff? Who do you think you are, Mr. Big Stuff? You're never gonna get my love, Mr. Big Stuff. Who do you think you are, Mr. Big Stuff? You're never gonna get my love. Now I know all the girls I've seen you with. I know you broke their hearts one after another now, bit by bit. You made them cry many
one of the
greatest, ain't no debating on it. I'm still levitated, I'm heavily medicated. Ironic, I gave him love and they end up hating on me. She told me she loved me and she been waiting. Been fighting hard for your love and I'm running thin on my patience. Needing someone to hug, even took it back to the basics. You see what you got me out here doing? Might have threw me off, but can't nobody stop the movement. Let's go. Left foot, right foot, levitating. Pop stars, do a leap with the baby. I had to lace my shoes for all the blessings I was chasing. If I ever slip, I fall into a better situation. So catch up, go put some cheese on it, get out and get your bread up. They always leave when you fall, but you run together. Weight of the world on my shoulders, I kept my head up. Now baby, stand up, cause girl, you
want me, I want you, baby. My sugar boo, I'm levitating. The Milky Way, we're renegading. Yeah, 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 yeah. I got you, moonlight. You're my starlight. I need you all night. Come on, dance with me. I'm levitating. You, moonlight. You're my starlight. I need you all night. Come on, dance with me. I'm levitating. You can fly away with me tonight. So you can fly away with me tonight. Baby, let me take you for a ride. Yeah, 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 yeah. I'm levitating. You can fly away with me tonight. So you can fly away with me tonight. Baby, let me take you for a ride. Yeah, 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 yeah. My love is like a rocket, watch it blast off. And I'm feeling so electric, dance on our off. And even if I wanted to, I can't stop. Yeah, 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 yeah. My love is like a rocket, watch it blast off. And I'm feeling so electric, dance my ass off. And even if I wanted to, I can't stop. Yeah, 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 yeah. You want me, I want you, baby. My sugar boo, I'm levitating. The Milky Way, we're renegading. I got you, moonlight. You're my starlight. I need you all night. Come on, dance with me. I'm levitating. You can fly away with me tonight. You can fly away with me tonight. Baby, let me take you for a ride. Yeah, 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 yeah. I'm levitating. You can fly away with me tonight.
Play on, play it. 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 Yo, street drops the verse.
Shorty get down, good lord. Baby got 'em open all over town. Strictly bitch, she don't play around. Cover much ground, got game by the pound. Getting paid is a forte, each and every day. True player away, can't get her out of my mind. I think about the girl all the time. East side to the west side, pushing fat rides, it's no surprise. She got tricks in the stash, stacking up the cash, fast when it comes to the gas. By no means average, it's on when she's got to have it. Baby, you're a perfect 10, I wanna get in. Can I get down so I can win? I like the way you work it, no diggity. I got to bag it up. I like the way you work it, no diggity. I got to bag it up. I like the way you work it, no diggity. I got to bag it up. I like the way you work it, no diggity. I got to bag it up.
She's got class and style, she's knowledge by the pound. Baby never act wild, very low key on the profile. Catching feelings is a no, let me tell you how it goes. Curves the word, spins the verb, lovers get curves so freak what you heard. Rolling with the fatness, you don't even know what the half is. You got to pay to play, just for shorty bang bang to look your way. I like the way you work it, trump tight all day, every day. You're blowing my mind, maybe in time, baby I can get you in my ride.
I like the way you work it, no diggity. I got to bag it up. I like the way you work it, no diggity. I got to bag it up. I like the way you work it, no diggity. I got to bag it up. I like the way you work it, no diggity. I got to bag it up.
Play on, play it. Play on, play it. Play on, play it.
Havana, ooh, na, na. Half of my heart is in Havana, ooh, na, na. He took me back to East Atlanta, na, na, na. All of my heart is in Havana. There's something about his manners. Havana, ooh, na. He didn't
campus. Fresh out East Atlanta with no mountains. Damn, fresh out East Atlanta. Up on board like a traffic jam. Man, I was quick to pay that girl like Uncle Sam. He go, hey, take it on me. Hey, shout the craving on me, get the beating on me, on me. She waited on me, damn, well, shout the caking on me, got the bacon on me. This is history and I'm making on me. Point blank, close range, that feed. If it goes a million, that's me. I was getting moolah, baby.
Havana, ooh, nah, nah. Half of my heart is in Havana, ooh, nah, nah. He took me back to East Atlanta, nah, nah, nah. All of my heart is in Havana. My heart is in Havana. Havana, ooh, nah, nah. Take me back, back, back. 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 Take me back to Havana, ooh, nah, nah. Half of my heart is in Havana, ooh, nah, nah. He took me back to
You gotta go and get angry at all of my honesty. You know I try, but I don't do too well with apologies. I hope I don't run out of time, cause someone call a referee. Cause I just need one more shot, have forgiveness. I know you know that I made those mistakes maybe once or twice. And by once or twice, I mean maybe a couple of 100 times. So let me redeem on myself tonight. Cause I just need one more shot, second chances. Yeah, is it too late now to say sorry? Cause I'm missing more than just your body. Oh, is it too late now to say sorry? Yeah, I know that I let you down. Is it too late to say I'm sorry now? I'm sorry. Yeah. Sorry. Yeah. Sorry. Yeah, I know that I let you down. Is it too late to say I'm sorry now? I'll take every single piece of the blame if you want me to. But you know that there is no innocent one in this game for two. But I'll go, and then you go out and spill the truth. Can we both say the words and forget this? Yeah, is it too late now to say sorry? Cause I'm missing more than just your body. Oh, is it too late now to say sorry? Yeah, I know that I let you down. Is it too late to say sorry?
Good evening, everyone. I'm Janet Wu, your MC for tonight's event. We have planned a different and live experience for you. We brought the party to your house. Did you get this box with all the goodies inside, including some special party favors? So we hope you're waving those streamers and showing your excitement for tonight. We want you to connect with us, but first, get your cell phones out, all of you, please, and text Urban Edge, that's one word, to 243-725. Again, that's 243-725, and we will send you live updates throughout this evening. This is also how you can show your support for Urban Edge. At any time during the event, you will have the opportunity to chat with us. To do so, just type your message into the Q&A section at the bottom of the control panel. So let's try that now. Tell us where you are tonight and chat with us. And as you join, I will mention as many as I can throughout the evening. We are so glad you are with us this evening. Let's, of course, thank DJ Ryan Brown for spinning some great music and getting us in the mood for tonight's celebration. Before we start our official program, it's time for you to enter our networking chat rooms. For 10 minutes, you will be able to connect with others from across the Commonwealth. Enjoy meeting friends, making some new friends, and we will see you in 10 minutes.
Come and move that in my direction. So thankful for that, it's such a blessing, yeah. Turn every situation into heaven, yeah. Oh, you are my sunrise on the darkest day. Got me feeling some kind of way. Make me wanna savor every moment slowly, slowly. You fit me, tailor-made, love how you put it on. Got the only key, know how to turn it on. The way you nibble on my ear, the only words I wanna hear. Baby, take it slow so we can last long.
Tú eres el imán y yo soy el metal. Me voy acercando y voy armando el plan. Solo con pensarlo se acelera el pulso.
Oh yeah, ya me está gustando más de lo normal. Todos mis sentidos van pidiendo más. Esto hay que tomarlo sin ningún apuro. Despacito, quiero respirar tu cuello despacito. Deja que te diga cosas al oído, para que te acuerdes si no estás conmigo. Despacito, quiero desnudarte a besos despacito. Firmo en las paredes de tu laberinto y hacer de tu cuerpo todo un manuscrito.
Quiero ver bailar tu pelo, quiero ser tu ritmo. Que le enseñes a mi boca tus lugares favoritos. Déjame sobrepasar tus zonas de peligro hasta provocar tus gritos.
You can hear me now though, right?
Si te pido un beso, ven dámelo. Yo sé que estás pensándolo. Llevo tiempo intentándolo. Mami, estoy dando y dándolo. Sabe que tu corazón conmigo te hace bam bam. Sabe que esa beba está buscando de mi bam bam. Me prueba de mi boca para ver cómo te sabe. Quiero ver cuánto amor a ti te cabe. Yo no tengo prisa, yo me quiero dar el viaje. Empezamos lento, después salvaje. Pasito a pasito, suave, suavecito. Nos vamos pegando poquito a poquito. Cuando tú me besas con esa destreza, veo que eres malicia con delicadeza. Pasito a pasito, suave, suavecito. Nos vamos pegando poquito a poquito. Y es que esa belleza es un rompecabezas, pero para montarlo aquí tengo la pieza, oye. Despacito, quiero respirar tu cuello despacito. Deja que te diga cosas al oído, para que te acuerdes si no estás conmigo. Despacito, quiero desnudarte a besos despacito. Firmo en las paredes de tu laberinto y hacer de tu cuerpo todo un manuscrito.
Quiero ver bailar tu pelo, quiero ser tu ritmo. Que le enseñes a mi boca tus lugares favoritos. Déjame sobrepasar tus zonas de peligro hasta provocar tus gritos y que olvides tu apellido. Despacito, this is how we do it down in Puerto Rico. I just wanna hear you screaming.
Todo aquel que piense que la vida es desigual tiene que saber que no es así, que la vida es una hermosura, hay que vivirla. Todo aquel que piense que está solo y que está mal tiene que saber
Janet, we have about 6 minutes until people start coming into the main program. So.
I guess if you say so, I'll have to pack my things and go.
That's right, hit the road, Jack. And don't you come back no more, no more, no more, no more. Hit the road, Jack. And don't you come back no more.
What you say?
Hit the road, Jack. And don't you come back no more, no more, no more, no more. Hit the road, Jack. And don't you come back no more.
Now, baby, listen, baby, don't you treat me this way, 'cause I'll be back on my feet someday.
Don't care if you do, 'cause it's understood. You ain't got no money, you just ain't no good.
Well, I guess if you say so, I'll have to pack my things and go.
That's right, hit the road, Jack. And don't you come back no more, no more, no more, no more. Hit the road, Jack. And don't you come back no more.
What you say?
Hit the road, Jack. And don't you come back no more, no more, no more, no more. Hit the road, Jack. And don't you come back no more.
Well,
Don't you come back no more.
what you said?
Don't you come back no more.
I didn't understand you.
Don't you come back no more.
It might seem crazy what I'm about to say. Sunshine, she's here, you can take her
happiness is you. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like that's what you want to do. Hey, go. Bring me down, can't none bring me down. Your love is too high to bring me down. Can't none bring me down. I said, bring me down, can't none bring me down. Your love is too high to bring me down. Can't none bring me down. I said, because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like a room without a roof. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like happiness is the truth. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you know what happiness is to you. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like that's what you want to do. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like a room without a roof. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like happiness is the truth. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you know what happiness is to you. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like that's what you want to do. Hey, go. Bring me down, can't none bring me down. Your love is too high to bring me down. Can't none bring me down. I said, because I'm happy.
Yeah, we're literally 2 minutes now, okay? Exactly to the T. When
Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like happiness is the truth. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you know what happiness is to you. Clap along if you feel like that's what you want to do. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like a room without a roof. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you feel like happiness is the truth. Because I'm happy. Clap along if you know what happiness is to you. I feel good. Like I knew that I would, no. Feel good, baby. Woo! Like I knew that I would, no. I feel good. Like I knew that I would, no. Feel good, baby. Woo! Like I knew that I would, I feel nice. Like sugar and spice, so nice.
Live from the Charles River Studios in Boston, it's the 2021 Urban Edge Community Event. Tonight, we welcome District Attorney Rachel Rollins, Janet Wu, Hector Cruz, Bruce Ehrlich, Sharon Small, and the CEO of Urban Edge, Emilio Dorsley. From Bloomberg, please welcome your MC this evening, Janet Wu.
Good evening and welcome to Community. I'm Janet Wu, your MC tonight, and it is my pleasure to welcome you. Tonight, we celebrate and learn all that's amazing and special in the world of housing. Of course, we wish we could be together. In just a few days, Massachusetts will be open again, but for now, we are fortunate to be joining from the safety of our homes. I can see from the chat that you've been joining from Roxbury, Jamaica Plain, and of course, Boston. And just because we are still far apart tonight, physically, we want to make sure you have lots of fun. So hopefully you received your party in the box. If you opened it, you know there were a lot of things that came out of that box, and we hope that you're having fun with it. Why we are here tonight. Housing is a basic and universal human need, and tonight isn't just about housing, it's about community. The pandemic, political divisiveness, and calls for racial justice have made this year unlike any other that we have experienced. There is no doubt that the pandemic has hit the Black and brown communities in Roxbury, at JP, and the rest of Boston hard. I hope that you will wear this mask that you find in that party box proudly and send the message. We know the economic impact of the crisis will be with us long after immunity. But no matter the color of your skin or who you love or where you come from, we all want the same things: a fair shot at success, safety, and happiness for our families. Throughout tonight's event, we hope you share the event using our hashtag community or Together We Build, and our handle is Urban Edge Boston. That is one word. For now, get your cell phones out, everyone, and text Urban Edge, again one word, to 243-725. And we will send you live updates throughout the evening. This is how you can connect with us and also show your support for Urban Edge. Tonight, you will hear some amazing stories of strength and courage, and we hope you donate to Urban Edge. Your support tonight will have a profound impact on the lives of the increasing number of families battling the stress and uncertainty of housing insecurity. Here's one of many stories we would like to share with you. We want to give a shout out to Elise, a young business owner and mental health practitioner who came to us wanting to buy a home but was saddled with too much student loan debt. She had the keys to success but just needed some help opening the door, her front door. And after months of working with our counselors to restructure her loans and clean up her credit, she closed on her home in Brockton a few months ago. We are so proud of her, and beneath that mask, you better believe it, she has a big smile. At this time, I would like to thank our sponsors. Thank you to our all-in sponsors for leading the group: NEI, Win Companies. Thank you to our community rockstar sponsors: Boston Private Community Bank, Eastern Bank, Enterprise, InSource Services, Inc. Thank you to our community advocate sponsors that you see here. And we want to thank our community partner sponsors. And next up, thank you to our contributor sponsors. And to all of you who have championed for us during the pandemic, Urban Edge thanks you deeply. Right now, we want to welcome the CEO of Urban Edge, Emilio Dorsey.
Now, 'cause I can't wait much longer. I know I got to be right now, 'cause I can't get much longer.
Thank you, Janet, and a warm welcome to each of you. Community is why we gather tonight. From those online right now to the thousands of families we serve each year. It's you, the people beyond the bricks and mortar, that we lift up and celebrate tonight. This past year has been a test of our resiliency. Some of you contracted COVID-19 or lost a loved one. We dedicate our efforts this past year to their memory. When the pandemic hit in March of 2020, we mobilized, doing wellness checks and connecting people to emergency assistance. We then established the Roxbury JP Family Resiliency Fund, providing $500,000 in assistance to families impacted by the crisis. But we didn't stop there. We worked with our partners to deliver food to families, holiday toys to kids, and PPE to elders. We connected people to rental assistance and built remote learning hubs for students. In addition, our programs kept going strong. More than 100 Black and brown families we work with utilized low interest rates and down payment assistance and became homeowners for the first time. All the while, we continued creating affordable housing. Just a couple months ago, we started construction on Holzer Park in Jackson Square, which will provide affordable homes to 62 families. Our community has a rich legacy of social activism and care for one another. I will continue to carry out that legacy, keep our emergency response going, and work towards racial equity as we come back better in 2021. 1 year ago today, George Floyd, whose last words were to call out for his mother, was murdered in Minneapolis. In remembrance of his life and in honor of the cry for racial justice that followed, I ask that you join me in a moment of silence.
Thank you, Emilio. What a difference a year has made. This is a year we have seen the impact of social injustice and also what can be done to achieve greater equity. We want to tell you another story. Jennifer, a mother of 3 and a recent graduate of our Strong Start Parenting Education program, said, "Being part of the classes at Urban Edge has helped me be a stronger advocate for my children. I enjoyed this program and found it extremely helpful. It would be helpful to any parent. I wish I had the first time around." And we have seen the disparities from COVID. In Boston, 58% of whites 12 and older have received at least one COVID vaccination dose. But due to earned mistrust, that rate is just 40% for the Black and Latinx community. So Urban Edge and its partners are hosting forums to share the facts about the vaccine. Later this month, we're hosting a vaccine clinic to help close that gap. And now a message from Joe Retman of NEI.
I want to take this opportunity to say congratulations to Hector and Sharon on your awards. Congrats, guys. And a big congratulations to Urban Edge for all the work you do for your community and the surrounding communities every day.
Again, we hope that you support Urban Edge tonight. It is so easy to donate. All you have to do is text the word Urban Edge, that's one word, to 243-725. You can see that number on your screen. And what you will give tonight, we want to let you know what you are contributing to. $1,000 will provide the tools, lumber, and soil needed to clean up one of our community gardens and plant the seeds for a bounty of veggies later this year. Nothing is better than food that we grow on our own. $500 will educate and offer someone the tools they need to buy a home. $250 will provide a student with a day of remote learning. We know it can be costly to get online. And $100 gives an at-risk homeowner a one-on-one session with a foreclosure expert. So hopefully they can keep their home. $50 delivers a prepared meal so families can participate in our parent support group. Of course, we would love for you to support and give whatever you can to donate. Every dollar is important. And we can see that a lot of people are donating, and the donations are coming in, and we are so grateful. Thank you so much, and keep them coming. Each year, Urban Edge recognizes an employee who stands out for their accomplishments. This year's Ron Hafer Employee of the Year is Sharon Small. And just so you all know, Sharon is the project manager and led the work for Holzer Park that Emilio mentioned earlier. Such a feat to keep construction moving during the pandemic. Congratulations, Sharon.
Thank you so much for this award. I'm so lucky to be able to work at an organization like Urban Edge and to be part of the team on amazing projects like Holzer Park. I've learned an incredible amount since I started here 4 years ago, and I want to thank everyone who's part of the organization, and especially my supervisor, Emily Loomis. Thank you.
Congratulations, Sharon. And everyone, thank you so much for your support. We love seeing the donations coming into this important group. I'm going to break it up a bit. We saw you just having a great time dancing earlier, so let's turn it over for a bit to DJ Ryan Brown.
Y'all trying to do 24 karat magic in the air. Head to toe so clear. Look out. Pop, pop, it's showtime. 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 Guess who's back again? Oh, they don't know. Oh, they don't know.
walk in. Showed up wearing Cuban links, designer mix, Inglewood's finest shoes. Don't look too hard, might hurt yourself. Known to give the color red the blues. I'm a dangerous man with some money in my pocket. Keep up. So many pretty girls around me and they're waking up the rocket. Keep up. Why you mad? Fix your face. Ain't my fault they all be jacking. Keep up. Players only. Come on, put your pinky rings up to the moon. Girls, what y'all trying to do? 24 karat magic in the air. Head to toe, so clear. Look out. Second verse for the hustlers, gangsters, bad bitches and your friends. I cannot preach, I cannot preach. I gotta show them how a pimp get it in. First, take your sip, do your dip, spend your money like money they ooh, ooh, we too fresh. Got to blame it on Jesus. Hashtag blessed. They ain't ready for me. I'm a dangerous man with some money in my pocket. Keep up. So many pretty girls around me and they're waking up the rocket. Keep up. Why you mad? Fix your face. Ain't my fault they all be jacking. Keep up. Players only. Come on, put your pinky rings up to the moon. Girls, what y'all trying to do? What you trying to do? 24 karat magic in the air. Head to toe, so clear. Look out. Everywhere I go, they be like.
Hello again. We promised you we were going to make this evening exciting and fun. We are bringing you everything, including some socializing, some dancing, and something we've been looking forward to tonight, some important conversations. We are really pleased to have the opportunity to have a live conversation with District Attorney Rachel Rollins. And joining me here in the studio is Emilio from Urban Edge. I actually have a question that I would like to ask both of you. Just a minute ago, we had a moment of silence to commemorate the anniversary of the killing of George Floyd. We know that this is not the first such incident to happen, but this year has been different, with the public now paying a different level of attention. And I want to ask Emilio first, why do you think there has been a change? What has made things different this time?
Well, I think that's an interesting question, and there may be a number of different reasons why it's different this time. And I still think that, until we actually see some structural changes, it's yet to be seen if it's really going to be different. So hopefully, as legislation is currently being debated and negotiated, that in a few weeks we'll be able to give us a really good example of how all of the work that people did when they came out, in the summer, during the winter, to really make sure that everyone knew that this was something important, that we'll be able to see what happens. But I think that really what happened was that the pandemic allowed people to be able to not to have to turn away, where they didn't have the opportunity, where they could have paid attention. They couldn't pay attention to, I have to go to work and do this and think about that, my family issues. People were focused, and it was difficult to turn away from the horror of what they saw for those close to 9 minutes. And I think that made all of the difference.
Yes, District Attorney Rollins, your career is dedicated to justice. I want to ask you the same question. Why do you think things may be different now, and do you think that we are finally seeing a point of meaningful change?
I echo everything that was just said. I mean, we witnessed an execution, and we were all quarantined or home. So to the point that was just made, we couldn't pretend that we didn't have time to see it. With the advent now of cell phones, right? Remember, Rodney King on March 3rd, 1991, was the first time many people saw police brutality and were shocked that there was very little accountability there. That was a video camera that was used. Now we are watching not just the George Floyds, but Ahmaud Arbery. We're hearing about the Breonna Taylors. And we had that perfect storm of those things happening in that moment, with all of us sitting still and watching, to have the rest of the nation learn about, unfortunately, what certain communities have known for forever, for centuries, is that there are two criminal legal systems, and the police often treat people very differently depending on where you live. And that can be any color, whether you are poor, and certainly with respect to other communities as well. So, you know, for me, a guilty verdict, although we are happy, that's not what George's family wants. They want George to be alive today, right? And we have seen a lot of corporate individuals, a lot of allies step up and say out loud that Black Lives Matter, but we need to see the systemic changes. We need those same, you know, Fortune 500, 150 companies that say Black Lives Matter and have little, you know, boxes on their social media, have some Black people on their board of directors, right? Have some AAPI individuals or community members in their executive leadership team. Our companies need to reflect the rich and diverse community that we are right now.
DA Rollins, there is so much distrust now with the police system. There have been calls for reforms. How can the community and housing leaders play a role in reestablishing trust in the system that you refer to?
Well, we have to recognize, you know, hearing people say that housing is just a fundamental basic right. I mean, think of where at the end of the day, where do you go to feel the most comfortable? I hope it's your home. I hope you also feel comfortable in the spaces you occupy when you aren't there. But this is somebody's sort of sanctuary, essentially, whether you own it, whether you rent it, whether you live in it with other people. And there is, you know, I chose to move to Roxbury when I became the Suffolk County DA, and it is almost literally priced out for the generations of communities that have lived here our entire lives, right? Or other individuals that have lived here for generations. So I think it's important that people might say, like, criminal justice reform and housing, how do those two things go together? They do, right? Like, when you close your eyes, I hope, and think back to your childhood, that I hope was not filled with trauma and violence. But when you think about what kept you safe, the police might not be, or likely aren't the first thing you think of what keeps you safe. It's your parents or guardians. It's a good school system. It's a safe living environment, right? It's a lot of other things that don't involve the carceral system at all. So I think we need to link together about access, because when we talk later about, for example, collateral consequences, if I make a mistake and pay my debt to society, but that brand on me with a criminal record precludes me from renting or owning a home, that is a life sentence. That's not just the 6 months that I might have done in the Suffolk County House of Corrections, or the continued without a finding, or the guilty plea that I took with the probation. It's going to follow me for the rest of my life. So that is where those two things come together.
This is a good time to ask Emilio, what we are here for this mission, for housing equity. So in your words and in your opinion, how can housing and public safety come together to achieve what we've been just talking about right now, ensuring the greater safety and security of families?
Sure. You know, I definitely agree with DA Rollins that housing is a primary building block for stability for most, if not all, families. One of the things that we do at Urban Edge is that we try to promote and encourage active resident associations so that residents are able to really take part in the oversight and the management of the buildings that they live in. Because from my own personal experience in growing up, that many times when you think about some of the crime and violence that happens in neighborhoods, they're among people who know each other. And so it's really important that we not only focus on making sure that housing is safe, but that we use housing as a connector to figure out what are some of the root causes and how can we as housing developers work with our community so that we can decrease the likelihood or increase the chances that people who might engage in violent or other types of activities have other options. Because at the end of the day, most people want what we all want. They want to be able to have a safe place to live, an opportunity for them to raise their families or to have a family, and to reach their full potential. And I think we all need to do better. And we're all going to really think about, when I think about George Floyd, it wasn't just about his murder. It was really about the thousands of people who came before him. And then why was this individual seen as such a threat, or that his life was so devalued that it could be snuffed out so easily? And there are hundreds of young people and adults in our communities whose lives have been devalued. Although maybe their lives have not been snuffed out, but their lives have been devalued because we have not given them the opportunity for them to reach their full potential. And I think housing is the beginning, but it's not the end.
Yeah. I love that, because I feel like Derek Chauvin tried, convicted, sentenced, and executed George Floyd in 9 minutes and 29 seconds. That's not how the criminal legal system works. The police arrest you. They then bring you to court, usually after they bring you to a barrack somewhere and fingerprint you. And the prosecutor then stands up, looks at what you're charged with, and makes a determination as to whether or not we're going to move forward with those charges. The prosecutor brings the case in front of a judge. The judge makes certain determinations. There's a grand jury that decides whether we move up to superior court. And then a trial jury gets to decide whether factually you're innocent or guilty, and a judge sentences you. Derek Chauvin took all of those layers away, and on his own, the criminal that he is, decided in those moments that he was going to make all of those determinations. This was over a misdemeanor, okay? So these are misdemeanor murders. There's not death penalty for misdemeanors, right? And even if there were, there are at least 15 layers of determinations that have to be made, appeals, like motion hearings, all of these things that happen. Derek Chauvin believed that he had the power to, as Emilio said, snuff out somebody's life with his hand in his pocket as if he didn't even care at all. So that's number one, is that piece. The other thing about housing that's really important is so many of our homicides happen in the homes or outside of the homes where people live. And what we need to be really clear about is if you can afford a home and are financially stable enough to say, this is too traumatic, I want to move, that's a different experience than if I'm on a Section 8 voucher, my grandmother is killed on the steps of our home. You have to walk up those steps every single day and relive that trauma. So we have to be working with communities about getting them out of these spaces that they have to be re-victimized every time they walk into.
And DA, I'm sure that you ask or you think about often what would have happened in this case, George Floyd, that we remember today, had there not been people taking pictures and video.
100%, right? And if we are all honest, or at least if I am, I was nervous before the jury came back. I was nervous that, are they going to somehow find this individual not guilty, right? I do need to give credit to every one of those police officers, not the three that stood and did nothing, but the officer after officer after officer after officer that stood up and took an oath and was a prosecution witness saying he does not represent who we are. This is a noble profession. These men and women risk their lives for us every single day, and he does not stand for what we are. That gave me pride in this awful, awful moment. And it is my hope that those lights of hope are going to be what start bridging the gap between certain communities and law enforcement.
DA Rollins, you mentioned a little while ago about the barriers that the incarcerated face even after they have paid their debt to society. And for those people, well, the system does proceed and it works for them in that way. Let's talk about those barriers after the debt is paid, because a lot of them prevent any kind of rehabilitation. What are the biggest concerns and how can those barriers be addressed?
So for example, when you get a jury duty, right, you're asked to fill out a question. You are asked questions by the judge. We just wrote a letter to the judiciary here because a lot of people assume in Massachusetts and the state system, if I have a sealed record or a charge has been dismissed, that me answering I don't have a record is an accurate statement. It isn't, right? So you can be removed from a jury because you answered a question you thought truthfully, but in fact you said I don't have a record when it was sealed, because when your record is pulled by the prosecution, they see that you have one. You cannot be given, depending on what crimes you are charged with, and I'm not talking about murder, I'm talking about other charges, with financial aid to go to school, to go to a community college, to better yourself. As we talked a lot about with respect to housing, with respect to certain jobs, not just renting houses, but other opportunities as well. And then of course, employment, right? If somebody has to run a background check in order for you to have a job, even if there is space and time between your paying your debt to society and applying for that job, are they going to hire Emilio, who has no criminal record, or me that says that was 7 years ago when we are even or close, right? So, we have a lot of work to do. And part of what I try to do, Janet, just quickly, is as the chief law enforcement officer of Suffolk County, I hire people in certain positions with criminal records, right? Because if I'm going to be demanding that people are not their worst moment or their best, by the way, right? I have to be an employer that also puts my money where my mouth is. So we're proud to have some individuals that have criminal records, that have paid their debt to society and are working in our office.
Mm-hmm. And I hope we get to the point where more and more employers see that, understand that, know that there is the ability to rehabilitate and also to be really great and successful in new roles and follow that example. I want to close now by asking you both, and Emilio, we'll start with you, to tell us just something about yourself that most people watching tonight may not know.
Great question. I guess because I've only been here for a few years, there's probably a lot that people don't know about me. But one really interesting fact that people are often surprised is that I learned how to speak and write English by reading comic books when I was 6 years old, because I was an immigrant. And one of the things that I learned about, in reading the comic books was really about these issues of justice. I remember reading Spider-Man and the idea of with great power comes great responsibility. And obviously, as a 6-year-old child, you take those words and you believe in them. And I just hope that when we do our work as housing developers and nonprofit organizations, that we understand that we do have great responsibility. And our responsibility is to make sure that we're working with community to give them full opportunity, because at the end of the day, I'm not here to make choices for our residents. I'm here to make sure that they have the opportunity to make choices for themselves and be successful.
I think we need to ask the district attorney the same question. Tell us something that we don't know about you already.
Yeah. Okay. So I'd say 3 things. Maybe some people know some of this, but I am actually as strong as people think I am, and as, fearless, et cetera. I am a softie. I am a person who watches TV and cries at commercials and stuff like that. So that is very true. I'm a mom and an auntie. My daughter is 17 and my nieces are 12 and 8. And I am very proud of the work I do with them. I think being a parent and a guardian, or raising good people, is the most important job any of us can have on the planet. And then I guess I would say I used to be a really good lacrosse player and had a scholarship to, I don't know if I could play right now, but I used to be quite good, and had a scholarship to go to college, and was really used to love playing sports when I was younger.
All right. Well, thank you so much. And grit and empathy are a great combination. Thank you so much, DA Rollins. And that concludes our conversation. Now let's get back to our awards presentation. But first, a message from Wynn Companies.
Good evening, everyone. My name is John Cuppins with Wynn Residential. I'd like to congratulate Urban Edge on another successful year and thank them for another great year of partnership with Wynn Companies. We value our relationship greatly. I also wish to congratulate Hector Cruz for the recognition he receives tonight. Hector led our relationship with Urban Edge for 13 of his 30 years with Wynn, and he did it with enthusiasm and passion every day. Best of luck, Hector. You will be missed.
Each year, we recognize someone for their work to strengthen our community with the same passion and spirit as our late board member, Peter Lee. And we didn't have to look far to find this year's awardee. In fact, we just had to look next door. Over the years, Hector's dedication to residents living in urban edge housing has been unwavering. And when he wasn't helping families stay stable in their homes, he was running off to other places, literally. Over the years, Hector has raised funds for many nonprofits through the Boston Marathon and Road to Wellness while engaging with residents to create healthier neighborhoods. We might see retired next to his name, but we know he's going to keep running for the community, and he will always be part of the Urban Edge family. This year's Peter Lee Community Builder Award is Hector Cruz.
Thank you. Thank you, Emilio. I am honored to be here tonight and grateful to be the recipient of the Peter Lee Community Builder Award. I am grateful for the recognition I have received for my work, but I couldn't have done it alone. Urban Edge has had a long-standing commitment to this community. I am so fortunate to have had an opportunity to play a role in fostering that commitment, especially during this year of unprecedented challenges. To be part of a team that was ready, willing, and able to rally together and make sure that people, our people, had what they needed or a way to get it. And that is something that will serve as my guiding principle as I embark on my next chapter of community service. The realization that although much has been done, but so much more has to be done, is what has inspired and energized me throughout my career. And I look forward to making many meaningful contributions in the future for the future generation. On a closing note, I want to thank you all for coming. And without your continued support, Urban Edge would never be able to provide the services to the communities, but we still have a long way to go. What we have accomplished together has made a difference, but we need to continue this journey with more dedication than ever. Thank you.
Congratulations, Hector. Thank you for your service. My name is Bruce Ehrlich. On behalf of the Board of Directors, a heartfelt thank you to our sponsors, donors, and friends in attendance. I also want to personally thank the Urban Edge staff for creating the successes we learned about tonight. One of the reasons we call our event community is because we need everyone in attendance to help us carry out the work we do. We need your financial support, but we also need your partnership in making our neighborhoods a better place. So we invite you to stay connected and share your insights on how we can do even better. And of course, we look forward to hosting next year in person. Thank you, AJ Williams and the AJ Events team for producing tonight's event. And thank you, Janet Wu, for emceeing tonight's community.
It is my absolute pleasure. Thank you so much for your important work and all the important work that is being supported tonight. And hey, this party is just getting started. Please enjoy the contents of your party box. And if you feel like dancing, and we know many of you do because we were watching you, DJ Ryan Brown will be playing tunes for the next 30 minutes. Have a great night.
Why you gone?
'Cause every time he pulls me near, I just wanna cheer. Let's hear it for the boy. Let's give the boy a hand. Let's hear it for my baby. You know you gotta understand. Oh, maybe he's no Romeo, but he's my loving one-man show. Oh, 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 oh. Let's hear it for the boy. My baby may not be rich, he's watching every dime, but he loves me, loves me, loves me. We always have a real good time. And maybe he sings off key, but that's alright by me, yeah. 'Cause what he does so well, makes me wanna yell. Let's hear it for the boy. Ah, let's give the boy a hand. Let's hear it for my baby. You know you gotta understand. Oh, maybe he's no Romeo, but he's my loving one-man show. Oh, 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 oh. Let's hear it for the boy. Let's hear it for the boy. Let's hear it for my man.
What's
shake it like a Polaroid picture. Hey, shake it, 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 sugar, shake it like a Polaroid picture. Now all Beyonce's and Lucy Liu. Shake it.
Don't let them fool you. Or even try to school you. Oh no. We've got a mind of our own. So go to hell if what you're thinking is not right. Love would never leave us alone. I in the darkness, you must come out the light. Could you be loved and be loved? Could you be loved and be
The road of life is rocky, and you may stumble too. So why do you point your fingers at someone else is judging you?
Don't your brother, man?
Could you be loved? Could you be loved? Could you be loved? Could you be loved?
Don't let them change ya. Or even rearrange ya. We've got a life to live. They say only the fittest of the fittest shall survive. Stay alive. Could you be loved and be loved? Could you be
Yeah, Spider-Man and Freeze in full effect. You ready, Ron? I'm ready. You ready, Div? I'm ready, Slick. Are you? Oh yeah, take it down. Girl, I must warn you. I sense something strange in my mind. Yo, situation is. Let's cure it 'cause we're running out of time. Tell 'em, Rick. It's all so beautiful. Relationships, they seem from the start. It's all so when love is not together from the heart. Check it out. It's driving me out of my mind. That's why it's hard for me to find. Can't
that girl is poison. Never trust a big butt and a smile, that girl is poison.
If I were you, I'd take precaution before I step to meet my girl. You know, 'cause in some motion, you'll think she's the best thing in the world. She's so high, she'll drive you right out of your mind, steal your heart when you're blind. Beware, she's scheming, she'll make you think you're dreaming. You'll fall in love and you'll be screaming, demon. Poison, deadly, moving it slow. Looking for a mellow fellow like DeVoe, getting paid, laid, so better lay low. Scheming on hot's money and the whole show. The low pro hoe should be cut like an afro. So what you saying, huh? She's winning to you, but I know she's a loser. How did you know? Me and the crew used to do her.